Hello, thank you for joining me. So today I want to talk about some containers, so especially the glass containers. So I really like using glass containers, and when you bring lunch to, let's say, work, you want to heat it up. If there's a microwave available, then I think it's the best way for me, personally, that I like to use glass containers so I don't have to worry about the plastic being melted and things like that, the chemicals might be leaking into my food and things like that. So I have been using glass containers for a long time. Of course, I do have some plastic ones. There are occasions that you just cannot avoid using plastics, right? But today we're going to talk about some glass containers with the lid. And so years ago, we bought some from IKEA. And this is not the topic for today, but I just wanted to bring it up so that we can lead into the current ones that we have. So we bought a set from IKEA, and they are the liquid proof, so it doesn't leak, right? And what I really didn't like about those is the lids. They have a plastic or a silicone piece around on the lid, and so that it can be really tight fit, and so the liquid won't spill as you are transporting the containers. And so eventually those silicone pieces actually get moldy quite often, and pretty much like every few days or so, and I guess if we don't dry it right away, I usually just wash it and leave it to dry on its own, and it gets really moldy, and I just don't like it. And then it's a lot of work to take out the silicone piece, to wash it and to put it back, and then only it gets moldy again. So I stopped using those type of containers for a while because I just didn't like how it's working out for me, even though it does the job, but I just don't like the fact that it gets moldy all the time. So like I said, I stopped using it, and I just use the regular Pyrex, and those are with the simple lids, no problem, except that when I have to transport liquids, that's when I have to be a little bit more careful, maybe using bigger containers for small portions of liquid inside, right? And so recently, a few months ago, my husband went shopping and we wanted to actually replenish our containers because I have broken some. And so we need a few, some more. And so he actually got this Snapware set of containers, and I was really resistant at the beginning, to be honest, because I'm like, oh, it's one of those kinds again that it's liquid spill proof, but the side it's going to get moldy and I'm not going to like it. Why bother to even use it, right? And so this is, the glass container. It's nothing too special, right? It's glass. And so this is the lid. And so you can see that it has a thin strip of the plastic or silicone around it, so to make it spill proof. And then it has the 4 pieces on the round one. And so he convinced me to try to use it because his coworker said, oh, those are different than the IKEA ones. I was like, okay, so I'll give it a try and see if I like it. And turns out that I actually really like it. It's really easy to use, and it's really easy to clean as well. And so I don't have to take this piece out. And actually, I don't even know if I can take it out. I think it's glue on. So it's just a lot easier than the previous set that we got from IKEA, and no mold. And so I just really like it, and it's really easy to use. And so now I can bring sauce or liquid with me, and they work fine, so spill proof, right? So except until yesterday, or actually it happened to my husband a few weeks ago, and it happened to me yesterday, and I thought what a great way for me to do a review on it so that other people can know about it. So I still like this. The only problem is that, so this is kind of how it fits, right? It snaps on, and then you, really easy to use, nothing complicated about it. Except that yesterday I heat up my lunch, and I left it there for over, I would say 10-15 minutes because I was talking to someone else. And normally when I heat up my lunch, I would eat it right away. But yesterday, because we were in a conversation, so I just kind of left my lunch there untouched. So what I do is when I heat up my lunch, I would remove the lid. So whatever content, the food I have inside, I would put a paper towel over, and that's when I heat it up, right? And so whatever it splatter or it bubble up during the process because of the heat, the paper towel can help, minimize the mess that it's making. So I put this with the paper towel, like I said, into the microwave. I do it 2-3 minutes, however long that it takes. And then when I take it out, I put the lid right back on. And then I carry it back to my room, right? To my place to eat, my office. And so the whole walking process is probably no more than 30 seconds. And so once I sit down, have my door closed, and I will start enjoying my lunch. But yesterday, because I was in a conversation, I didn't feel right to open up the lid and open up the lunch when I was in the middle of a conversation. So with my hot lunch, I just left the lid, continue to be on with snap. And after 10-15 minutes, because of the heat, right, basically I can see that the plastic piece, it's like collapsing a little bit, within, it's all the physics, right? That if you're good at physics, you know exactly what it's doing. And so afterwards, after I finally get time to sit down, maybe 15-20 minutes later, I started open up the lid and eat my lunch. And then I realized the lid, it's actually been ruined. And so this is the lid that I was using yesterday. And so you can see 1, 2, doesn't snap as tight, 3. So this is fine now. This one doesn't snap anymore. Actually, yesterday is only 2 out of the 4 would snap. And 2 out of the 4 doesn't snap. So something had, I knew right away, I was like, oh, I kind of ruined the lid because it was the heat. And I think that happened to my husband maybe 3-4 weeks ago, and same thing happened. I think he didn't heat up the lid. He put it on top of the hot container with hot food inside, and then it kind of deformed the lid in a way that it doesn't snap anymore. So now it's 3. This one, it's not as tight. I don't know how much you can see, but this 2 snaps pretty well. And this one, it barely snaps. It can hold on, but it's very loose. And this one, it doesn't snap anymore. So I still like the containers. Nothing wrong with them. It's just that I just want to let you all know that do not put the lid on the hot food for more than 30 seconds or so. It's fine. You put it on so that you can transport it back to your room, your office, or whatever that is. But after that, please take it off or loosen it, right? Like open it, let the steam out, so not be tight, not snap on. So I think that might be still okay, but ideally you just have to remove it, enjoy your lunch right away. So that's the only thing I wanted to share, that, my husband kind of got upset that I ruined his another lid. And I think he did get a replacement, but I think he only can get one. And I thought that last time was he also microwaved the lid. And then last night he told me, he's like, no, I didn't microwave the lid. It's just that the lid was on the container with the hot food for more than a few minutes. and then that's what happened. So I guess I didn't catch on to his lesson last time, but now I have my own lesson to learn. So I would not do that ever again, you know, so not more than 30 seconds, so that the heat doesn't continuously to deform the lid. So that's all I want to share. Like I said, I still like the containers. It works really great so far. You know, we've been using it for quite a few months, not so much over a year yet, but maybe like 3-4 months or so, and it's been great. It works really good. The only thing is just make sure you don't have heat over your lid for more than 30 seconds or so, or more than a minute. All right, I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you all next time. Bye.